HOA Bridezilla tried to hijack my backyard, so I made her the main attraction. I was halfway through a soggy waffle, still in pajama pants, when I heard the scream. "You need to take that fence down right now. It's ruining my wedding photos." I squinted into the morning sun and saw her, Sabrina. She was draped in a lacy white robe, mascara already running down her cheeks like a melting Barbie, stomping barefoot across her perfectly mowed lawn like it was the runway of destruction. Behind her stood a handful of wedding vendors, frozen like extras in a bad reality show, and a man in a tux who looked like he regretted every life decision that led him there. That was Ben, the groom. That was also the moment I realized this weekend wasn't going to be normal. And neither was she. See, I'm not someone who picks fights. I mind my business. My 6-foot wooden fence? Legal, freshly painted, and literally on my property. I built it for privacy, not drama. But Sabrina had other plans. The trouble began with a flyer. A week earlier, someone slipped a shiny invitation in my mailbox. "You're invited to celebrate the love of Sabrina and Ben." Cool. They lived a few houses down, we barely talked, but hey, good for them. I figured there'd be noise, maybe some parking issues, but nothing too crazy. What I didn't know was that Sabrina had decided our entire cul-de-sac was her personal wedding venue, and that my backyard would become her arch-nemesis. Why? Because her dream photo shoot required the sunset, and the sunset just happened to land right behind my fence. Then came the polite requests. First, it was 2 wedding planners asking if they could hang some white drapes on my fence. I politely declined. Next day, I saw someone taping fabric samples to it, like it was their damn vision board. The day after that, someone zip-tied sheer curtains straight through the slats. I cut them down without a word. That's when Sabrina stormed across the lawn, veil dragging like a war flag. "Do you know what those cost?" she shrieked. "I know what this cost," I said, patting the fence, "and it's mine." She threatened to call an emergency HOA meeting, when the HOA becomes a weapon. That night, I found a fake-looking notice taped to my door. All residents must maintain visual harmony for special community events. Excuse me? Turns out, Sabrina had browbeaten the HOA board into passing a resolution. It wasn't enforceable, but it was loud. Roger, the HOA president, later admitted she'd threatened to report them to the county if they didn't cooperate. He told me, "Just hang in there till Monday." Spoiler, I didn't. So I fought petty with petty. She started sending a drone over my yard. Someone tried to build an archway in the shared grass area right before the property line. She lit up my fence with fairy lights overnight, even though my gate was locked. I cut them down, calmly. She glared at me like she wanted to breathe fire. Then came the cherry on top. She texted through Ben's number. "You think this is funny? You just made yourself a target." That was the moment I decided. If she wanted the fence to be part of her wedding, then I'd make damn sure it would be unforgettable. Enter the mural. My cousin Jessie is a street artist. She once painted a 30-foot-tall dragon on an abandoned building just for kicks. I called her up and said, "You free tomorrow?" That night, under the cover of dusk, we painted. It was art. It was chaos. It was Bridezilla, her snarling face, tiara crooked, mouth wide open in a screech. Below her, tiny stick figures ran in fear. A comic book bubble screamed, "My special day." Beneath it, in gold script, dedicated to community harmony. Wedding day, a public meltdown. The next morning, Guests arrived in pastels and smiles. Then they saw the mural. Some laughed. Some took selfies. One guy said, "This should be on a t-shirt." But Sabrina, she lost it. Like screaming on the lawn level, lost it. She called the cops, sobbing that I was emotionally terrorizing her. They asked if it was her face. I showed them the Facebook photo it was based on. They asked if it was on my property. I pointed to the deed. They shrugged. "It's satire," one said. "Free speech." Sabrina shrieked, "This is harassment," and nearly tripped over her own heels. Plot twist. The groom bails. Just as things couldn't get any more explosive. They did. At the rehearsal, Ben never showed. Instead, a groomsman read a note aloud. "Ben can't go through with the wedding. He wishes Sabrina well." People gasped. Sabrina screamed like the world was ending. Guests quietly packed up. The mural, still standing, still judging. Aftermath, HOA justice and internet fame. Sabrina resigned from the HOA the next day. She called everyone traitors, threatened to move. And she did. Meanwhile, someone posted the mural on Reddit under "Our Entitled People." It went viral. People begged for prints. One woman messaged me asking if she could recreate it on her yoga studio wall. Jesse came back and added a protective clear coat. Roger from the HOA stopped by and said, "We're officially calling it a community art piece." Final thoughts: a fence and a statement. Sabrina thought she could control a neighborhood with tantrums and passive-aggressive flyers. But she underestimated one thing. I don't fight dirty, I fight smart. And I had a fence. A simple, stubborn fence that stood its ground, literally. So here's the big question for you. Do you think what I did was petty or justified? Was the mural too far or exactly what she deserved? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe in playful revenge in relationships? Or is there a line that shouldn't be crossed? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more real-life drama with a twist. See you on the next story.